First Bank.
Welcome now to Business News. I'm Loretta Chiogo. The dust raised by the reintroduction of the 100 naira charge and extended use of ATMs and other banks is yet to settle, but the Central Bank of Nigeria is explaining why it took that decision. In a statement, the Apex Bank's director of the Corporate Communications Department, Ibrahim Muazu, says the decision was taken to ensure ATMs across the country continue to function without transaction hitches. The statement adds also that the wear and tear as well as frequent servicing of the ATMs have increased, and this is among 9 other reasons given for the decision. Meanwhile, cash withdrawals at the ATMs of a customer's bank is free of charges. And also, the Central Bank of Nigeria today issued 70.64 billion naira worth of treasury bills. The bills have maturities of between 3 and 6 months. The Apex Bank sold 40.64 billion naira of the 3-month debt and 30 billion naira of the 6-month debt. Details of the transaction is expected tomorrow, Thursday, but traders anticipate yields on the bills will rise. Recent figures from the National Bureau of Statistics show that inflation rate for the month of July rose by 0.1% to 8.3%. While the increase was attributed to the rise in food index, analysts try to explain how the figures relate to the real sector in the Nigerian markets. Our correspondent Temple Ashaju reports.
Inflation refers to the movement in general price level, determined by the Consumer Price Index (CPI). The figure is generated through multiple calculations based on prices of goods and services.
When inflation is being computed, quite a number of baskets of products are taken into account. And what ultimately comes out is a kind of average of the general movement of prices.
The National Bureau of Statistics reports that the inflation rate for July rose to 8.3%. The increase is credited to the rise in the prices of cereals, meat and fish.
Energy costs, security and transportation and exchange rates. These are the key drivers of inflation. And these factors affect more even the food inflation.
The inflation rate for the month of July states 8.3%. It is important for us to verify how this becomes related to the food prices in the market. The food index in July rose to 9.9% from 9.8%. And it is gathered from the Mile 12 market in Lagos that the price of fish, for example, increased from 8,000 naira per carton to 10,000 naira in July. While a bag of rice traded at a nominal rate of 6,000 to 7,000 naira, other commodities maintains the upward price momentum.
For July now, this one is 1,500 from 1,700, but now it don't increase to 2,500 naira.
This analyst explains how insecurity directly affects the food index.
What again could also affect these commodities on mentioned was also the crisis in the Northeast. Their contribution to the agricultural sector is not even forthcoming. We have a security problem. Marketers, the middlemen coming from the north to where you have these markets are not having free transit anymore.
Inflation rates may appear as ordinary numbers, but they are intended to send caution to the authorities. As the election year approaches, it is expected that Nigeria's inflation figure will remain in the single digits. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
Now, the next generation of smartphones seem to have arrived early with the launch of the Infinix Zero. The device, which runs on a 4.4.2 Android operating system, boasts of a 13 megapixels rear-facing camera, octa-core processor, anti-scratch mechanism, amongst others. These features, according to Benjamin Jiang, co-founder of Infinix Mobility, alongside a partnership with Konga.com and Etisalat, present an amazing experience to phone users.
This is the first of its kind
Members of the press in a relaxed atmosphere with officials of Infinix Mobility, Etisalat and Konga.com. At the core of this gathering is the smartphone known as Infinix Zero, the latest from the stable of Infinix phones.
Infinix X506!
The session is rib-cracking, and the features of the phone breathtaking.
It has some of the greatest 3D experience in games that you have ever seen. It also has a rare 13 megapixel camera and a 2 megapixel frontal camera. It has a super fast octa-core processor.
More surprising is the price tag, and the reactions say it all. The unveiling is done, and all the partners in this relationship are delighted.
We are offering the same world-class materials used by Sony, by iPhone, but also I'm very excited by the partnership between us and Konga.com.
Nigeria is a market we really put a lot of focus on, and we hope that it is going to be to enjoy great success in line with the other models that have been launched by Infinix.
Right now, what Etisalat is doing in this partnership is to provide for everybody that purchases the Infinix Zero on Konga.com the opportunity to enjoy up to 500 megabytes of data monthly for the next 12 months.
If you see what we've done with Infinix here is we've gone straight from factory floor to consumer's door. And that innovation has also allowed us to drive that price down.
The pre-ordering has commenced, and according to the head marketing of Konga.com, Gabriel Umodi, the amazing Infinix Zero, which puts so much power in your hands, is yours for the asking. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
Starts.
And transaction volume today dropped to 192.11 million shares. That's at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The value also decreased to 1.82 billion naira. Here are more market figures from the stock exchange.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Midweek trading at the Nigerian equities market saw a drop in key indicators by 0.05% as investors took profit of some market movers. Now the all-share index finished at 41,789.56 with a slightly lower market capitalization of 13.79 trillion naira. The market breadth remained negative as there were 17 gainers to 25 losers. Forte Oil, Guinness Nigeria and Guarantee Trust Bank are the top three price gainers for the day. On the flip side, blue chip stocks, Nestle and Nigerian breweries suffered losses of 4 naira and 50 kobo respectively, while Seplat Petroleum Development Company lost 15 naira to lead the losers. UBA Capital, Mutual Benefit and Transcorp were the most actively traded equities for the day. Now transaction volume and value dropped to 192.11 million shares and 1.82 billion naira respectively. But those are the day's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbini.
Thank you, Harriet, and that's it on Business News. It's back to you, Joma, for the rest of the news at 10.
First Bank.
Still ahead on the news at 10, police investigates fire incident that engulfed Nigeria Football Federation office. That's on sports. You join us again.